just upstream of Earlston Loch. This is the Earlston Burn that runs straight into the loch, the lower part of the loch. We're here because we're doing some fishery surveys as part of the Upper Dee salmon restoration project. What we're trying to find out is where salmon are distributed in the Upper Dee. It's a really important salmon population up here. There's been a slow decline, but especially in the last couple of years we've become really concerned about the Dee salmon population. So this project is all about getting an idea of where the distribution is in the upper river, because it's a really important part of the population that we want to preserve. We usually find over on sort of the west side of the loch, there's a really nice burn called Polharrow Burn, and historically that's had quite a lot of salmon in it. We did a genetics project, it was part of a wider Scottish genetics project we did there a few years ago, and they found out through the genetics taken from that burn there was quite a high number of salmon breeders in that burn. So we think that most of the Upper Dee salmon, that is where they head to. We've also done fish rescues on behalf of Scottish Power, which are now known as Drax, which are the operators of the Galloway Hydro Scheme. And through those fish rescues at Earlston, over the years we found quite a few salmon. So we know that salmon get in here, but we don't have a fish counter in Earlston itself, so we don't know anything about the numbers of salmon actually coming to this upper part of the river. But when we've been in the past, we have found salmon, and we know of course that they spawn in this Polharrow Burn that historically has been very important for finding out about the spawning stock in this part of the river. We're going to be surveying using a technique called electrofishing to determine what the juvenile stocks are in the river. And it's about making a circuit within the water that attracts the fish to the positive electrode, which is our anode. We have a power supply today. We're using a backpack electrofishing gear, it's battery powered, and then we can gather up the fish that we capture from the anode, put them in a recovery bucket of water, look at the fish species, what species they are, the sizes of them. We might want to also take other measurements, and we might want to take fin clippings for genetics, for example, and then we can return them back into the site after we've finished with them.
Most of the fish we're getting in here are sort of hand-sized, a little bit smaller, so they're par, aren't they?
Yeah, they're par. So they're from spawning 2+ years ago.
Okay.
What we'd like to find is fry, which are spawning from last winter.
Okay.
At this time of year they'll be fairly big.
Is this size that you use to age these fish, or is there anything else you can do?
Yeah, so when we put them in anaesthetic, we're looking at the species, and then we're looking at the sizes, and then we can also take a scale sample.
Okay.
And if we look at their scale samples under the microscope, just like the rings of a tree, we can determine how old they are, because we can see it through their feeding patterns. When there's slow growth and then larger growth rings, we know how many summers we've had and how many winters. This is a trout par, yeah. So he's 153, and we're going to get a salmon out at the same time. So we've got a nice salmon par as well, and that's pretty similar size, 139. So you can tell already there's some quite distinct differences between the salmon and the trout. The trout's already a little bit bigger. The salmon's probably 2-year-old. Nice big forked tail, thin wrist here, whereas this trout's got a more wider tail, thicker wrist here. The pectoral fin is longer on the salmon, and that makes them well equipped to steady themselves in the faster flow, which we generally find them in the burn. But they've taken on this silver colour on their scales to equip them for camouflage out at sea. They're going to be more camouflaged in sea as this silver colour than they are darker trouty colours in the stream in the rivers. Nice healthy fish. So it's really fortunate we've been able to get funding through the Galloway Glens project and the Heritage Lottery Fund to allow us to do this important work. It's sort of the start of what we hope will be a bigger project, because it's really important that we try and preserve what we've got in the Upper Dee, particularly in the salmon population. So doing that will hopefully lead to things like genetics, that we can tell how many breeding stock are in this Upper Dee, and all that leads us into a bigger picture of how we can preserve what we've got here, and it might lead to different habitat works that will help us preserve what we've got here as well.